Vanlifers and homeless folks, and those of us living in RVs. You know, what's good, everyone? Much peace and love. Peace and love. May God be with y'all through these times where society is whack. The price of everything has gone way through the roof, leaving many people out here in this situation. So, let's just get some global awareness of what it is that is going on. You know, most of us out here did not start out as bums. Many of us have had good jobs before, a house, everything a normal person had. A lot of us out here come from that. So, it's sad that there's so much judgment for those of us who are in this situation. But we know it's real. We know that we didn't come from just being a bum. We got up and got a job when we were young, all that stuff. But the state of the economy right now, this is where we're at. And it makes more sense to be out here like this than it does to keep paying an outrageous amount of money for rent. Why would we do that? Why would we give pretty much everything we have just to stay in an apartment? That's a little bit ridiculous. You can't even afford food at that point. You can't even afford gas at that point. None of that. So it is what it is. But we're out here, and God's got us all. God's got us, man. We don't need to just keep worrying and buying into all this little fear porn they're pumping out to us all of, oh, you're all gonna be arrested, oh, you're all gonna have nothing. Man, you can go ahead and believe that, I guess, if you want, but hopefully this can bring a time of faith. This the situation we're going through. It's my birthday today. Hey, what's up? Happy birthday, yo! How old is you? Yo, I'm 32 now. Yeah, for sure, yo. Happy birthday. That's what's up. I'm just having a message to the world right now of, there's many congratulations. Yeah, there's many of us out here in RVs right now, in vans or vehicles. It's became, well, if you're just a single person, especially, and you don't have multiple incomes, there's like no way to really keep an apartment nowadays. If you ain't on no Section 8 or any of that stuff, you've just always been a worker. And, I started working young. Many of us many of us in this situation right now did not start off as a bum. Okay, we need to make that clear in society that a lot of us, I started working at 13 years old. I had bought my first car at 14 years old, okay? Literally, I paid with my own money that I had already made. I had bought a car at 14 years old. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, a lot of us out here, it's not because we're bums. It's not because there's something wrong with us. Many of us have just been ahead of the curve. Many of us already seen what was coming. And even if you didn't, even if you're new to this, I just want to put a little message out there that, God has got us all. So, they can keep trying to say, oh, it's illegal to be homeless. It's this and that. We're going to take everything you got. Man, no, man. Nah, God's got us. God's got us, man. We don't need to live on their fear that they're pumping out. This fear porn that they're hitting us with, man. It's all just a bunch of nonsense. You feel me? Thank you. Blessings. And blessings are coming to all of us. Okay. Especially if you can find a relationship with God and, really connect on the path of Jesus. Myself, I've been on the path of ascension now since about 2017. So since 2017, I started to find what's real. And let me tell you, it's been one bumpy road. One bumpy road. Oh man. And they do not want you waking up. Okay. They want everybody to just stay asleep. But it's okay. It's okay. We can all wake up together. And that's really what 2026 is going to bring for us all. Man, who else is excited for 2026? Man, I am so excited for 2026 because people are waking up. People, they've been waking up even this last year, but 2026 is going to hit on a whole new level. So I'm very thankful to be alive during these times. I'm very thankful to be going through everything that I'm going through, and like I said, God has got us, man. We might be out here homeless, might be living in a van, you might be living in a car, you might be living in a tent. You know what I'm saying? I'm living in an RV. God's got us though, man. We don't gotta keep worrying about what they want to call us or label us or threaten to take away everything we got and all this and that. No, we got to stand up. We got to stand up for our rights. You feel me? We gotta say, look around, bro. Look around. Who can afford to rent an apartment as a single person? You know what I'm saying? Now, if you got 2, 3, 4 people together, that's one thing. But still, how free really are you at that point? You know what I'm saying? If you live in an apartment with a bunch of other people, I've been there and done that before. So, I mean, I personally know that's, that might be for some people out there, but that's not for me. And, I got a dog here. And if this little baby girl can't go with me, then I ain't going, period. So I ain't going to no shelter and none of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? I got a dog here. She's my rescue. I was her third owner by the time she was 9 months. You know what I mean? So I'm not giving up on my girl, and I'm not going anywhere that she can't go. So you feel me? That's part of our. That's part of the reason for us being alive. Is to take care of these animals, and they help us. They help us find love. They help us reconnect with who we're supposed to be. And so, yeah, a lot of us out here have animals, have pets, so people out there really think that we're going to give up on our pets just to go live in an apartment or a shelter or something like that. Like, you know what I mean? No, that's probably not going to happen. So anyways, okay. And thank you for subscribing. That's amazing. And hey, somebody said, 2 people say hi. What's good, everyone? What's good, yo? So, man, I'm just trying to help bring this all together and make people realize, you're not alone. You're not alone out here at all. There's many, many, many people out here in the situation, probably millions. And, we got to stand tall. We got to remain strong. We can't let this world determine our own self-worth. I pray for everyone who sees this that y'all can find y'all self-worth. You know what I mean? And not let any influence out there try to make you feel less than human, because that's what they're trying to do. But thank God there are people like myself who are too wise for these old attacks. Well, we have found our true purpose of being here on this planet. And, it wasn't to be a slave in the system. It wasn't to... I've been there before, okay? I've rented apartments. I've rented trailer houses. I've rented houses, okay? But right now, I'm paying on my land. I have 2.5 acres of land. I'm over halfway done paying off. By the grace of God. By the grace of God. I've been able to somehow keep making these $350 payments, even though I'm out here in an RV, making YouTube content, bringing you all around all these different places out in the mountains and stuff. And I'm really praying to actually get out to the ocean before Christmas and bring you all a Christmas, New Year's at the ocean, and just, I love it out there, and it really helps connect with our higher self out there, and connect with God. It's very amazing times to be alive right now, even though we are going through it, but it's all part of the design. This is all happening for a reason. Everything happens for a reason. There aren't no coincidences. You feel me? But just to clarify, so, I started working at 13 years old myself. So, I know my self-worth of the fact that, I didn't grow up a bum. I grew up working. I just happened to stop renting about 7 years ago when I got on this path of ascension. And let me tell you, I don't miss anything about an apartment. To be 100% real with you. 100% real, I don't miss that. I'm really focused on paying off my land and being able to build a little home up on my land. That's all we really need. It's not a whole lot of land, 2.5 acres, though. It's enough. I got a bunch of trees out there and some big, huge rocks out on the back side of my property. Very beautiful out in the mountains, So I'm not there right now because I'm trying to finish paying it off. And it's so remote that it's really hard to stay out there and try to pay it off at the same time. So, I'm just doing everything that I can to keep this land. And, you can buy land like this for like $15,000. Okay. I know it sounds like a lot, but $200 down is what it cost me to get into this land. And then $357 a month. So, it's doable even without a job. I don't know how I do it, but other than God has got me. You feel me? That's all I know at this point in time. I don't know how I even do it, but I pull it together at the last minute. I am a month behind on my land payment, but it has a 65-day default period. So my land payment's due again on the 24th here in just a couple days. But I think I got it figured out to make that payment, even though I'm still 1 month behind. I'm just staying consistent at least just being 1 month behind, and that is what it is. I'll eventually get caught up, as soon as I can find some more. Yes, Merry Christmas to you. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year's to y'all. And if everything goes the way I'm really planning for it to go, then I'm going to be bringing y'all some really good content out of the ocean. Now, I can't really 100% promise this, but I do have half a tank of gas in my RV, and I'm just trying to hustle up the other to fill it completely full from a half a tank up. And then, I'm going to head out to the ocean because, I'm like an hour and a half or 2 hours, something like that, away from the ocean. So, I'm not super far. And, I'm hoping that I think I'm going to go to Abandon for the New Year's. I'm pretty sure that they will have some fireworks. So, I want to go catch some fireworks on the ocean, That's what I want to do for New Year's. And, as an RVer, I can do that. You know what I mean? So it's not all doom and gloom, the situation. Yeah, it's tough. Yeah, you get some knocks on your door. Oh, you can't park here. You just got to work through it. It can be tough, but at the same time, I'm in Roseburg, Oregon right now. And as soon as I can come up on the gas, I'm going to shoot over to the ocean. So it's a drive straight through the mountains. I'm going to drive right through the mountains. It's a really nice drive. And, yeah, I was out there all summer, and it really, really helped me start to focus more on what actually matters in this life when I was out there at the ocean all summer, and just extremely grateful for every moment I spent looking at the ocean, just hearing it and just vibing with it. Vibing with this nature is amazing. I love it. Being out there in the mountains, this type of stuff is really what we're here for. We're not meant to be a rat running a wheel in this rat race that people call life. This isn't life. This whole renting, and especially if you're a single person, it's going to take all of your energy just to even keep an apartment and stuff right now if you're just a single person. So you're really going to have nothing left to give for anything else. And I've been there. So I know exactly. I was so unhappy when I was renting an apartment last. This was 7 years ago now, because I decided right then and there that being in an apartment is like the opposite of freedom. Okay? If you're in an apartment, you really ain't got much freedom. You can't make as much noise as you want. You got so many different restrictions. You can't paint your walls up how you want them and this and that. None of that's for me. So, I'm just letting other people know who might have even just chose this life. You're not alone. You're not alone at all. There's many people who seen what was coming in the economy, because we paid attention to everything going on, and we seen it coming, and we're like, no thanks. I don't want to be a part of that. And, I'm not going to, if I'm going to lose it all anyways, then I might as well just choose to lose it first and just choose this life instead of be forced into it. So that's the way that I viewed it back 7 years ago, because I already seen this coming. These times we're in, all these other videos on YouTube that you can find right now of people talking about this, and, Vanlife and RVlife, and, those of us that even have that should be extremely grateful. Okay. Extremely grateful, because there are so many people out there that don't even have this. They don't even have this. And this isn't a whole lot, but this is way better than being in a tent. I got a little chair, little table. We got the whole, it's an old Ford, I love it. It's my home. Got a little dual sink there, stove. This is how I've been keeping warm right now. I don't even have a heater. Your boy don't even have a heater right now, so hopefully somebody can help with that. But for right now, this is kind of just keeping a little warmth up in the air. It's kind of dark. I got a big tool set there, and I got a bathroom. What? You know what I mean? That's what's up. You got to have a bathroom at least. That for me, that's why I chose an RV over a van, because I need a bathroom. I don't want to have to rely on going inside of a store in the middle of the night when you wake up and you gotta go, all that kind of stuff. So for me, I wanted an RV again, because me and my dog were bouncing around in a Ford Expedition, and there wasn't enough room for all of our stuff, and me and my dog to be comfortable. So I was like, man, I don't want to live in a SUV while I finish paying off my land. So I traded it straight across for this RV, and we have a lot more room now. It's like a 26-foot RV, which is about the perfect size RV if anyone is curious of what would be a good size to have, right around that 26-foot RV, that's a good size. It's not too big and it's not too small. I've had RVs smaller than this, and I've had RVs bigger than this. I've had a 35-foot Class A RV, big old RV. It was pretty nice and stuff, but it was too big. You can't park it. You can't park a big RV like that as many places as I could park this. So that's what. And yeah, Merry Christmas to y'all for sure. And man, I'm gonna be bringing some more content. I'm gonna make a Christmas video for y'all, and I'm also going to make a New Year's video. And hopefully, by the grace of God, both of those will take place out at the ocean, which isn't too far from here. So, I got me half a tank of gas right now. So, I'm just trying to hang in here myself. And, some days are really easy and some days are really hard. But, it's just realization that we're not alone in the situation. And especially if you got God on your side. So, that's taken a lot of work too. Just to try to get have a better connection with our infinite creator. I like to speak of God as our one infinite creator, because the truth is, all of us on a soul level, this body is just a vehicle. It's just a vessel. This body is not even the real self. The real self is within. And reincarnation is real. So when this vessel here dies, it doesn't mean we're dead. It means now our spirit is now going to go through a transformation, and it's going to take some time based on our karma. And based on our karma, we'll determine how and when we reincarnate. So, some very good stuff there. And, yeah, so I'm just happy to be alive during these times right now that we're going through, even though it can seem doom and gloom, but we got to look past all that. We got to look to the future, and really just say no to AI. That's really a big thing right now. We all gotta, yeah, Merry Solstice. What's good, bro? What's good, man? I got off topic again. Good old me. I always start off talking about one thing, and then I lose everyone because I start talking about ascension, or the sun and Jesus and our infinite creator, and then poof, everyone goes away. They're like, oh wait, this wasn't for me. But no, it is for you. So yeah, I'm just creating awareness that we're not alone in the situation. Even if we are alone, we're not alone. You might think you are, but you're not. There's our infinite creator out there, that if you don't have a connection with, our infinite creator is out there trying to get your attention right now. So, hopefully people will stop ignoring that and learn to just trust, and God we trust, because, man, the wicked ways of this world are coming to an end. This old world that we have lived in for so long now, hundreds, thousands of years now, it's coming to an end. And we're about to hit fourth density coming up soon. Very soon, y'all. So, man, don't you feel the energy in the air? Man, we got God with us, man. We don't need the system. The system that wants to try to determine our self-worth based on our social status, on our job, on what kind of car we drive on. Man, all that's garbage, bro. All that is just materialistic garbage. You feel me? Our one infinite creator is not concerned about any of that at all. Okay? And the less we have and the closer we are with our infinite creator is what we're actually aiming for. You know, we can leave all these material things and you know, people are like people have been worshiping money, and it's sad, you know, rappers and all these people, you know, worshiping money. Well, what are you gonna do when all of a sudden money's obsolete? What are you gonna do if they decide to, you know, redo the whole financial system, which is about to happen? You know, all this money that you've worshipped for so long, it might not hold no weight anymore. So, and people are learning. People are learning. Thank God for me, I learned years ago. Thank God for me, years ago, I came up on like $200,000. Okay. Thank God for me that I was shown that money does not create happiness. You know, I was going through a lot in my life at that point in time, and I was rather miserable. So, you know, even though I had all that money and that was nice, man, I was ignoring what our infinite creator was trying to show me. I was ignoring it. And so, yeah, I'm just thankful for the path that I've been down, because, you know, you can't grow unless you throw yourself out there and just try to figure out how you can grow. And for me, yeah, it didn't have to do with money. So, you know, a lot of us out here are very thankful for David Wilcock and Corey Good. And, you know, Dr. Stephen Greer has some all right stuff too, but I don't know. I don't know. I listen to what he has to say a little bit. I don't know, man. I love David Wilcock, to be real. Like, that's really a really good mentor through these times right now, because, man, he sees all the greater picture of things, all of it, and was Edgar Casey. So I don't know what y'all know about Edgar Casey, but Edgar Casey was a very, very, very intelligent person and has predicted many things that have came true, many things, but now is reincarnated as David Wilcock. And David Wilcock has even said that himself. I'm not just making this up. This is very real. And so, yeah, we're just all hanging in here. And, you know, the message to everyone is just, man, find that connection with our infinite creator and don't let it go, because the devil is trying to deceive us and has been deceiving us for so long now. You know, it's time that people awaken to what's real. And what's real isn't your bank account, isn't a mansion, it's not a Ferrari. It's none of those things. So, well, yes, I am Jesus too. Yes. My buddy Ty's here. He's Jesus too. Jesus is within ourselves. That's the importance about the time we're going through right now. This great awakening that we're going through right now, this ascension process, is about finding the Christ within ourselves. Okay, well, how about you can go bye-bye now, because, you know, we're not gonna lose focus on some Satanist ass shit. No. too wise for these old attacks. So you can go ahead and throw in these attacks, and I'm just gonna brush it off and send you on your way. Because real ones only up in here. That's what my channel's about. If you try to bring that negativity, you're gonna be booted out of here. Because I don't need it. My followers don't need it. Anyone watching this doesn't need it. Well, we got to remain humble in the process and trust our God. So that's what we're doing right now. And times could not be greater. Times could not be greater. I wouldn't trade what I'm going through to be back in no apartment. I wouldn't trade it to be in no house. To me, that's not freedom at all. At all. At all. Unless it's out on your own property. If you have your own property, which is what I'm trying to do, I'm over halfway there, done paying it off, then we can start to have some freedom that could involve a house. But if you don't own the land that your house or apartment's on, okay, if you don't own the land underneath where you lay, then you're just the same as me right now, out here RVing. I don't own the ground beneath where I'm RVing, but that's okay, because I am making payments on 2.5 acres of really amazing land. So out there in nature. So, that's what I'm focused on. And, you can go ahead and, property taxes are just going up and up and up and up. And so if you're going to be paying property taxes on something, you might as well own the ground beneath it. Because if you don't own the ground beneath it, you don't really actually own it. You're paying an outrageous amount in property taxes now because you don't own the ground beneath it. So that's why I pray more people see this and see that maybe in this situation you can figure out how to come up with $200. And if you figure out how to come up with $200, you can then put a down payment on land. Ground beneath our feet, land. You can do that. $200 down. That's what I did. And then now I'm paying $357 a month to keep that land until it's paid off, which for a total of $15,000, you can own some land beneath your feet. To me, that's way more important than renting an apartment and renting a house, than even having a mortgage on a house that you don't even own the land beneath it. Okay, you might own that house eventually, but you're still not going to own that land beneath it. And that's what's important. Because otherwise they can just be like, oh, we want to build something else here. You got to go. We're going to bulldoze your house over. Goodbye. Okay, if you go out into rural America and somebody tries that, it's not going to end well for them. So it's all about, owning the land beneath our feet. That's, otherwise, just be out here. Just be out here and enjoy life. Just be out here and enjoy life. You don't need to be stuck in some place that, you don't even have say over. Man, that's an old attack, man. That's trying to just steal our energy. That's what they love, man. Keep the RV, don't buy the land. Yeah, well, no, I know, but I'm over halfway done paying off the land, and it's out in rural America. Okay, it's out here in Oregon, and it's really out there in the middle of nowhere. So it's really great land to have. It's not land near town, so I'm thankful for that. And this land actually has the least amount of restrictions out there. Okay, I can actually legally camp on this land after I have it paid off. And it's some of the only land left in America that you can actually do that. So, yeah, it's that's what um that's what made me go ahead and decide to do this, because you know I had some land out in Washington. Okay, I had some land out in Washington, and I couldn't even camp on it. I couldn't even RV on it. I did for a little while, and then HOAs started getting all up involved, and man, screw HOA, man. HOA is the same type of thing, man. Don't get yourself involved with some HOA, because that might be what you're talking about. Yeah, I got some beautiful countryside for sure, but you do not want HOA. That might be what you're talking about. Don't buy the land. You'll understand later. I understand what you're saying if you're talking about some HOA land, because HOA land, you don't have no freedom. They can tell you what was that one HOA story here recently, man, where they said that these people had to leave their garage door open? Bro, yeah, you don't want HOA land. But if you find land that has nothing to do with HOA, and you find land where you can actually legally camp out there once it's paid off, as long as you have a septic, which out on the property that I'm over halfway done paying off, it has very, very nice ground. Like, I can dig up a septic with just a shovel, no problem. No problem. Might need a little, might get a pick, just to break off any rocks that I might run into. But other than that, the ground is really, really nice. And my goal with that is to have my own garden. I want to have my own garden. I want to be able to be more self-sufficient. That's really what my aim is here, is to become self-sufficient, And so by having land that you can actually camp on until you can build something, which the requirements out there is tiny home approved, okay? You don't have to have some big ass house out there, none of that. You can actually have just a little tiny home and not be bothered. So that's what I'm after here, because I really want to become self-sufficient. Like I said, I'm tired of buying vegetables and stuff that aren't even good. There's so much going on with our food. I don't even trust it unless I can grow it myself. And so if I had a greenhouse and I had an air filtration system, and I was able to make sure that, what I'm growing doesn't get contaminated by, these chemtrails and all this crazy stuff, which I've made a video on while I was out there on my land. They were definitely spraying the skies right above my land, and I put it on YouTube, man. I was literally filming them go back and forth and back and forth. I was filming that, so I put them on blast, and they kind of stopped doing it over my land after that, because I was not happy. I was not happy at all. I'm like, bro, you are trying to ruin our land, and that's not okay. So yeah, it's wild. It's wild. They don't even want you to be able to grow healthy food. They want to spray it with all these chemicals. So that's why it's important to get a greenhouse with an air filtration system, to where, you can make sure that it's nice and contained and not going to get any of this chemicals up in your food and whatnot. That's important. I owned a house. Yeah. So see, that's what I'm talking about. And cannot wait to see the adjustments done on page 2, panel 1, and then the full recreation of page 6. Shall we look into it more today? Yeah, for sure, bro. For sure. And man, I had some land out on HOA property, and yeah, it was really weird. It was really weird. It wasn't a gated community, so I can imagine how much more weird that would be. But yeah, man. So I'm thankful people are starting to see, the do's and don'ts towards freedom, man, because man, there's really nothing more important than having the freedom to go be with nature. That's really my focus, is to be able to go be with nature. And my dog loves the nature too, doesn't she? Does my little baby girl love being out with nature? That's her favorite. Daisy does not, my dog here does not like this in-town stuff at all. At all. She's just like me. Right now right now we're kind of in town and it sucks. I'm not in a big city. I left out of those, man. I can't do big cities anymore. Born and raised in the city, but I can't do cities no more. What's up with the daisies? So yeah, man, hopefully this did reach some people. I got 7 likes up in here. I'm very thankful for that, just because it did help reach some other people. So that's amazing. I just wanted people to know that, if you're out here in the situation that I'm in, you're not alone at all. There's many, 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 many people out here in the situation. So really, my aim for this video was just try to help people who were up in this situation to maybe look at things a little different. Maybe not see it as a bad thing, but maybe try to make it into a good thing. So that's where we're at right now, because we got to do with what we have. You know what I mean? And this material thing of always wanting more. We don't need all that, man. We need a good connection with our infinite creator and with nature, man. It really, really helps you start seeing things a lot more clear when you go put yourself out there in nature, especially if you can get away from the cell phone towers and all that. That's what I do often. So I'm actually thinking about going back out there again, but I'm really trying to get out to the ocean. I have half a tank of gas in my RV here. So I'm praying somebody can help me get the other half of the tank filled up, so that way I have a full tank of gas in my RV. And then I'm going to bring y'all to the ocean. We go into the ocean, man. That's all I know. If I have to go out there and hold a sign today with the gas can, I'm going to do that, because I really want to go to the ocean for Christmas and New Year's, and possibly just stay out there. There is one little job opportunity out there I might have come the after New Year's, doing security work out there. So I don't know. I'll see. I've done some security work before, so it pays nice. So if I can do that with my RV, I'm golden. I'm good. I'll be able to finish paying off my land. And then after I finish paying off my land, I'm going to go back out there, dig a septic. And, hopefully, I'm praying that this upcoming spring, I can have my own garden. That's goals. That's goals, is to have my own garden this spring out on my land. And by the grace of God, I'm going to figure out how to pay it off, because I only owe just over $6,000 right now. So I'm just over $6,000 away to owning 2.5 acres, no HOA, no none of that. Once you have it paid off and you have a septic, I can go pull my RV up there, and they're going to leave me alone. It's one of the only places left in America that you can do that. So, and then from there, I really want to build a shop. I'm not concerned about a house because, I want to build a big shop with living quarters on the top part of it. That's my goal. And it'd be really cool to have like a big balcony up there, to overlook the property. That would be sweet, man. That's goals. So, that's not going to come right away. But even just having the land paid off and being out there and starting a garden is good enough for me. So, yeah, man, I'm just, thankful for everything that I've been through. And I'm going to turn off my light now. This is what I use for a light. There's a light right here, and it's a spotlight too. So this is what I bought for my property when I was living out there. So that way, I had some people out there thinking, maybe they were going to try to rob me, or I don't know what they were even thinking, but they were out on my property at night, and I didn't have a proper spotlight to do something about it. And so, yeah, I finally got this light, and I put a stop to that. I put a stop to that. Because, boy, this light, it's like 400 feet, I think, something like that. That it for distance. Plenty of distance to take care of business. So, yeah, I had put a stop to all that while I was out there. Yeah, you got to be able to see at night, man, because, people think they're ninjas nowadays, man. People think they can just come attack in the night, And I had a bunch of dogs out there that let me know every time there was somebody near. And then, I could grab what I needed to grab and grab my light and make sure that I can defend my property. Because, that is definitely an American thing. We're gonna stand on this First Amendment. We are gonna stand on the Second Amendment. And we are gonna stand for the rest of the amendments up in our Constitution as well. I have a Constitution right over here. It's not an original one, unfortunately, but at least I have a form of a Constitution of the United States of America with me at all times. So, to me, that's very important, and I pray that more Americans can do that. Man, we all need to have a Constitution with us to lay down the facts when we need to, because this whole plan that they have had, man, this Illuminati and this New World Order and all this stuff, man. Bro, it's all just a bunch of fear porn, man. It's what they really are trying to do. It's what we should look at it as, is they're trying to see how far they can push us before we will unite. Okay, because as soon as we unite and stand together, we can peacefully assemble against the government and serve them with grievances. You feel me? So that's what we need to do, because ain't nobody gonna stand up for your rights, homie. We all got to stand up for our rights. Bob Marley was trying to wake y'all up years and years and years ago. God bless Bob Marley, man. God bless Bob Marley, man. Man, that's one of my favorite prophets of all time, man, is Bob Marley. Because he's seen everything that we needed to actually focus on. This peace and love and standing up for our rights and realizing they had us up in a rat race. Like, come on, man. Bob Marley knew everything. Bob Marley was so intelligent. And So yeah, man, I'm trying to keep his legacy alive, man. We need to stand up for what's right. Hey, what's good? What's good, Joe? How you doing? Why did my parents get divorced? Um, well, to be real, my parents never even got married. So my dad went to prison when I was just a baby. I never even knew my dad until I was 20 years old. And I had to beat his ass a couple times. No, really, though. He was a piece of shit. So, we gotta not worry about our family. We gotta find our true family. You feel me? Because for me, like, yes, I love my grandma. The only one that's still alive that actually cares about me. My own mom doesn't even care about me. Like, she can pretend like she does. She can do all this pretending, but the truth is, when's the last time she called me? Oh yeah, no, she just want to text like a little high schooler or something. That's her form of communication, is to text. And I'm like, bro, you need to put that texting aside and actually call your son. Oh no, you can't do that. So it is what it is. I'm not going to be bitter. I'm not going to be angry about it. I'm going to simply just let it go. Just let it go, because what is for us will resonate with us. What's not for us, we will know. So, that's another big part of my channel here, is finding authentic people, finding my authentic family out there. We're all put here by the one infinite creator. That is what put us all here. So you can think this or you can think that, but the truth is, the one infinite creator put us all here, and we are all family. So, but real family is actually there for each other. So, we might have not been born into our real family because I don't know what kind of control they're under, but it's not, and even if they think it's God and they think, the problem is they got brainwashed by religion. And religion is one of the ultimate ways of deception was through religion. So, yeah, no, I do not stand on religion. I stand on being a spiritual being and, man, just getting closer and closer and tapping into this infinite creator and the Jesus within ourselves. That's what's real right now, is realizing that, Jesus is within us. So, once we realize this, the rest of this game dissolves. Once we see what's really real, this all this illusion dissolves. So, man, I'm just praying this reaches more people, and we realize that we're not alone. We're not alone, no matter how times may seem. We're not alone. So, we all, especially, we always got God, and we always got the Christ within ourselves that we're tapping into now. People might be like, that doesn't make any sense. Well, it's because you haven't tapped into it yet. But once you start tapping into it, you'll find Jesus Christ within, for sure. For sure. What I'm doing right now is the Jesus from within coming out and trying to bring us together. Man, we got to come together, man. This is about unity, man. There's way too many of us to be controlled by only a few. There are billions of us. Way too many to be controlled by a few. How can 1% of 8 billion people control us? We've let it happen. That's why. We've let it happen. And it's been going on for far too long now. Far too long. So I pray in Jesus' name that we can come together and overthrow the system, man. There's so, like I said, 1%. 1% of 8 billion people. What are we doing? What, like, realistically, what are we doing by letting this whole world and all of its bullshit going on divide us? Why are we letting it divide us? That's their part of the game. That's how they continue to do what they want. It's because we're too divided. There's 8 billion people on this planet. Could you imagine if even 5%, if even 5% gathered for a peaceful protest against our government? Could you imagine? And I pray this happens on a worldwide level, not just here in America. I pray for the whole world, man. We all got these demons to overcome that have been controlling our life for far too long. And so, man, I'm very, very thankful for every one of us who has woke up and who can't be silenced. Because being silent is how they continue to control us. If more and more and more of us can get on the same page, maybe we can actually get together and do something about it. You know what I mean? Why? Who are we waiting on? We are our own saviors. Okay. I'm glad people like to be, you know, God bless their soul. And I pray Jesus will erase the hate and let them see the light. Let them see the truth. Amen. That's how I'm going to respond to negativity. That's how Jesus would respond to negativity. Not with hate, but with love and understanding. Yeah. Oh, people don't want that, but man, I do, man. That's how we come together, man. That's how we come together. Got to set aside our differences and realize we, the people, way outnumber the ones in control. We have them beat by like 99%. What are we still doing? You know, what are we still doing? Being controlled by the 1%. Just curious. So for me, that's why I'm out here. I'm not controlled by no 1%. And I'm actually willing to die on that. You ain't gonna control me, homie, because guess what? Reincarnation is real. And, you know, if the worst case scenario happened, man, I'm gonna die by mine because I know that it's not the end. This is just the beginning. So, man, we have a long ways to go, man. It's not until we reach 7th density consciousness that we are reunited with the one infinite creator. Right now, we're going from 3rd to 4th density. And that's why this is so exciting, man. We're finally approaching 4th density consciousness. We've been on 3rd density for far too long. Far too long, man. This whole control, this money system. Man, we are the only planet out here still controlled by this money system. The only one. The only planet in the whole universe that's still controlled like puppets by money. So, man, just spreading the awareness of this, man. We got to come together. I'm back on my unity talk, man, because we got to. We got to. We are our own saviors. We cannot wait. Okay, how has waiting for somebody else to take care of business gone for us? Now let's keep it 100. Let's keep it an absolute 100 right now. What has that done for us? What positive thing has waiting done for us? Nothing. They're just pumping out more and more fear, and oh my God, you're gonna be arrested if you're homeless, and man, y'all can get bent with all that, bro. Bent with all that. There are billions of people out here, bro. When are we going to join forces against this evil? You know, God's soldiers are out here questioning humanity. When are we going to join forces? There are so many more of us. So many. Man, if even for one day we could just set our differences aside and come together as a society, just one day is all it would really take to overthrow this whole system. And I have this vision, okay? I have this vision playing out in my head of what that's going to look like. And it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing that I want to share with everyone. And I want to not just share with everyone. I want people to realize we are our own saviors. Jesus Christ is within ourselves. There's nothing's going to come. We have to save ourselves. And how we can do that is forming unity. For real. They cannot. Man, divided we will fall. Divided we will fall. Divided we are falling. So when are we going to realize that, okay, division is not the way to go? Why are we stuck fighting each other? Why is society fighting each other instead of the ones in power? To me, this just doesn't make sense. Why are we shooting innocent people while the ones in power remain untouched? When is our consciousness going to raise, collectively speaking, when is our mass consciousness going to raise above all this? When are we going to stop hurting each other? We aren't the problem. The system is the problem. We, the people, need to stop killing each other and come together. Unity is 1 billion times stronger than division. We can accomplish way more as a collective than we could ever accomplish being divided. And that's just facts. That's just facts. Look at the world and the state that it's in. And that's because we're not coming together. Or instead doing what they want us to do and remaining divided. Because they know divided we will fall. So they're like, yeah, let's get everyone to just kill each other and not give a shit about no one. And then the world will just, then we can just take over with this new world order and just make all of y'all 100% slaves. You know, you think you're 50, 60, 70% slavery. It's just going to get worse if we can't figure out how to come together. These end times are just going to get worse until we come together and see that we can create a new world. We don't need the control of this old world. We need to come together and pray for a beautiful world, for a world where we're not controlled by this money system that means nothing. They print this money and they don't even have it. They're printing non-existent money. When are we going to figure that out? When are we going to figure out money is an illusion? And money is not even real, people. It's not even real, okay? Gold is real. Silver is real. Money is not real. They manufacture that. They print that. Okay, that's not real. So, man, as soon as we figure this out, we can be like, hold on, wait a minute, Charlie. You're telling me that you just printed this out of thin air and that it's not actually backed up by gold anymore. Okay, money used to be backed by gold. Do your own homework and find out what year money has been discontinued from being backed by gold. Do your homework. Look it up. This money hasn't been backed up by gold for far too long now. We've been living in this illusion for far too long now. So I pray that we come together and slay these demons, man. We need to slay these demons, brother. Let's do it. Man, this whole system, bro, they just want us divided. Divided we will fall. Come on, man. I'm going to keep repeating myself. When are we going to come together against all this corruption? That's all it takes. We don't even need the whole 8 billion people to wake up and come together. We just need enough to be heard. If we can create enough unity to be heard collectively, that's all it takes. Imagine even 7,000 people coming together. 7,000 people coming together for the same cause, for the same goal. Wow, imagine what the power of numbers can actually do. Man, I pray y'all check out some Jurassic 5, man. Society right now, man, they need to listen to some Jurassic 5. Type in Jurassic 5. Check out some of their music, man. They speak about everything I'm speaking about. Everything. Check out that song, Freedom, by Jurassic 5. Who knows that song, Freedom, by Jurassic 5? Man, come on, bro. We gotta raise the overall consciousness of humanity. Let's go. Who are we? Have you guys been programmed into thinking we're waiting on? Like part of religion made us programmed into thinking that Jesus is coming to save us. But those of us who have actually been on this path now know that No, that Jesus can be within ourselves. We can all follow the path of Jesus. And man, once enough of us realize this and come together, the world could be a much more beautiful place, man. We don't need all this control, man. When are we going to realize that only a little ball full of people control the masses? How have we in 2025? Okay, people are so, oh yeah, we got all this technology and y'all be using chat GBT and all this other freaking AI stuff that I don't agree with at all. You know, we got all this technology, but we ain't got no real clue as to how to come together and end this madness. People living on sidewalks and cars and vans. I'm living in an RV. That's all cool and all. Meanwhile, though, there's mansions out there with 10 rooms or whatever, when only 1 or 2 of them or whatever are being used. Like, bro. Yet there's people literally sleeping on the sidewalk. There's people literally sleeping in the bushes. There's people sleeping under bridges. There's people sleeping in tunnels. Meanwhile, there's all these houses out there that have all these empty rooms. But we're going to stoop down to this level? Man, when is humanity going to come together? That's my number one question. What is it that we are waiting on? You know, there's this wonderful app called Discord. Wonderful app. We can actually communicate without all the eyes seeing what we're communicating about. When are we going to come together on Discord? Okay, there's been many songs that have been put out about this, but they ain't actually standing on no business, because I've commented on these songs and be like, okay, what's your Discord? Let's get together. Oh, so you mean it was just a bunch of talk? Man, I ain't about just talking, man. I'm about practicing what I preach, bro. Hit me up on Discord, TrillDill93. You can hit me up on Discord right now, and I will respond after this video. TrillDill93. You feel me? I'm real about this. This isn't a game to me. The world we've been living in, that's a game. And those of us that see that it's a game can't unsee that. And we want to create more awareness about it. Because as soon as we all can come together, we can end this game real fast, like within a day or two. Yet we're wasting all these years being controlled by the same group of people, the same families, the same bloodline. Years, hundreds, thousands. It's really wild to me. It's really wild to me, man. And I pray we as a society can put our differences aside and come together for even just a couple days. Everyone just stop showing up to work. Just don't even show up. We need to form a meeting place. Okay, let's go to the White House and demand what's real. Demand that the system be reconstructed right now. Why are we still waiting? That's my question. I mean, I know the answer too. And I know the answer. That's because people are too scared. And people are scared of change. But to me, it doesn't make any sense why we let that fear keep us in the same place. When are we going to set that fear aside and come together for a greater purpose? You feel me? When can we do that, man? Because that's really what I'm about. I want to see our people come together. I really do. You know, I don't even drink alcohol. I'm waking up to some coffee right now, some Black Rifle coffee. You know, I don't really drink alcohol anymore. I've been about 7 years now since I've been drunk. And I'm only 32. So, thank God I woke up at 25 years old, around 25 years old. I stopped doing hard drugs. I stopped selling drugs. I stopped being a thug. And I got right with the Lord. But it's taken time. It's taken much trial and error and much up and downs. It's been a roller coaster. This spiritual journey has been a roller coaster, but let me tell you, 100% worth it. 100% worth it, man. The clarity that I have of everything going on. Now it won't let me just rest. It won't let me just sit back and continue to let things happen. We got to speak up about what we know. We got to speak up about what we know will change the world. Because changing the world all starts with ourselves. Yeah, I still smoke cigarettes, but man, way better than meth, way better than heroin, way better than... I never did fentanyl, thank God. I got out of drugs before that even became I got out of drugs right when that became a thing. Like, at least over in Montana, where I was at the time. Now I'm in Oregon. And it's horrible out here, man. I've seen all kinds of stuff, man. It's sad. It's sad that there are so many people out there lost on all these drugs, man. And it's even more sad that they don't see that it's a problem. Their friends can drop dead right in front of them. And they don't change. So, you know, that's a bunch of wasted life out there. You know, if any of these people could get onto the right path, man, it would have such an impact on the world. Such an impact, man. I'm trying to spark people caring about life again. Because the truth is, most people don't even care about life anymore. And that's sad. That's because divided we will fall. This is right where they want us, because we're so divided. Literally, unity is the answer. Coming together for a greater cause is literally the answer. And it starts within ourselves. For me, mission accomplished there. Now I'm on to help try to get other people on this path. Because why are we living in these circumstances? Like, why is it hard to even find food sometimes? Sometimes I have a hard time even finding food. Sometimes I have a hard time finding gas. You know, but besides all that, man, I just pray that we can make a movement, man, because we are our own saviors. We have to come together and save the world. Who's going to do it for us? Man, there are entities out there, higher density beings out there, who are fighting for the greater cause of humanity. We're not alone. We're not alone in this fight, but if we join the fight, we will accomplish this goal of taking back what's ours. This world belongs to us, not them. This was only a small percentage, a very small percentage of the population thinks that they own us. What? You're telling me like 1, 2, 3% of the population has control over all of us? Bro, when are we going to come together and say, hold on a minute? Last time I checked, there are way more people than there are these bad actors. So, man, just praying for society right now, man. Praying that we can wake up, and I know it's coming. 2026 is the year. The year. Man, more and more and more and more people are going to be waking up this year in 2026 as soon as we're there. And it's already started, though. It's already been started. And for me, I've been on this path for at least 7 years now, but I've understood the importance of unity for far longer than that. I've understood the importance of unity for over 10 years now. And I've been speaking about unity for over 10 years now, not online though. I only really started my YouTube channel like just over 2 years ago now. Yeah, it says that I've been it's been a channel since whatever, like 2014 or something, or whatever it says. I don't remember, but no, if you actually look at to where my content actually started, it was just over 2 years ago. Yeah, this just happens to be the email, that is associated with my YouTube that has been the same for a long time now. But I decided to make it into a channel when I already had a decent little amount of subscribers before I was even a channel. And that's kind of really what motivated me to become a channel. Because I'm like, man, I got like people subscribe to me just because of like playlists I'd put together and stuff. And so I was like, man, I'm gonna make this into a channel. And so yeah, I'm over 2 years in now. And recently I was absent for a while. Recently I had to step back for a while. And when I first started talking about stuff on my channel, unexplainable things happened in my life. And that kind of shook me away from my purpose there for a while. But I'm back. I've been back. So, I can't lose sight of my focus again. I can't do it. I've tried to get a job and this and that, and that's just not what I'm meant to do. The last job interview I went to, it became very clear to me, like so clear to me that I would have to be a fool to ignore. What happened during my last job interview was confirmation that I'm not meant to throw away all my energy to being a slave. Just not for me. And I had confirmation on the last job interview and the ones that led up to that interview. So it's crazy times we're in. It's crazy times we're in, man. But I'm just praying that we can come together and fight for what is right. And what's right is that the mass population is no longer controlled by a few. Man, good times are coming. Good times are coming. And I'm very thankful to be alive right now during these times on this planet. You know, I know that I don't come from this planet. My soul doesn't come from this planet. And I know this, and this life here on this planet is very difficult. Okay? We're the lowest density of consciousness that humans can even be at. This right here behind me is a second density creature, my dog. And we're at a third density. There is so much other life out there in the universe that has already passed this test. I think this real test is how much are we going to take? How much abuse are we going to take before we come together and say enough is enough? We're not going to turn the cheek anymore. Tired of being smacked up. Man, when are we going to stop turning the cheek to let it happen again? And look it head on and say, enough is enough. There are so many more of us than them. What are we still doing? I know. I'm trying to spark this to happen now, because what are we waiting for? You know, I'm not one of those that can just sit back and just let everything just play out. I want to help. I want to help let other people see the picture, see what's going on, and see for the fact that we can overthrow this game at any given time. It's up to us. We are our own saviors. Let's go. Let's go. There are, luckily, our cosmic family out there who's also fighting. You know, there's a battle between good and evil out there going on, much more of a level than just the surface level of this planet. Okay, it's going on underground. It's going on out there in the universe, not just on this planet. This war has been going on for so long now. So long now. Man, I cannot wait until we stand up and decide that, you know, we're going to stop punishing each other when all we need to do is come together and punish those who have been in control. That small percentage that's in control. Very small percentage. What are we still doing allowing the small percentage to control us? You feel me? God has got us, man. We don't need to fear. Fear no evil. Fear no evil. Sorry, it's still morning time. The sun, I'm thankful the sun came out. Yay. Here in Oregon, it's been really rainy. It's been really cloudy. I haven't got a lot of sun lately. And right now, the sun's shining through my my curtains here. And I can feel it hitting me right here. I'm like, yeah. Thank goodness, man. If you have ever been in the Northwest during winter time, you know it can be a struggle. I lived in Washington State for the last few years before this, before I came down to Oregon. I've been in Oregon now for like 3 years. And before then I was in Washington. And then before then I was in Montana. But so if you've ever been out here on the West Coast, between Washington and Northern Oregon, you know that it's a beautiful thing when the sun comes out during the winter. So when I started this live stream, it was still dark. It wasn't quite light outside yet, you know. I started this live stream with this light running right here. You know, my little spotlight that has a light on the side too. And, yeah, anyways, it's been a good live stream. It's been a good time. I got rambling on because, man, I feel so deeply about this, man. This isn't a joke to me. You know, the quality of life we could be living is much greater than how we've been living. And it's up to us to say enough is enough. We're tired of being controlled by something that's not even real. This money system, man, that's not real, bro. We don't need money. The world doesn't need money, man. This is the only planet out here still controlled by money. And I pray that people see more to life than what we have been programmed into thinking was the purpose of this life. The purpose of this life isn't money. It's not to gain material things. It's not to have some status that's better than somebody else. We're all souls. Whether we are rich, whether we are poor, anywhere in between, whether you're sleeping under a bridge, whether you're sleeping in a bus, whether you're sleeping in a van, a tent, a cabin out in the woods, an RV, we're all one. The infinite creator is the reason we are all here. So, man, I just pray that we can start treating each other as family and not like the false sense of family that many of us have already woke up to. Many of us have been disowned by our own family for a long time now, some of us, you know. Like I said, I'm thankful to have one person out of my whole family, one person actually gives a shit about me. So, you know, we got to create real family. It's not our biological family. You know, we're all brothers and sisters in this world, regardless of our skin, regardless of what country we're in. God put us all here. Amen to that. Amen to that. not, man. I'm hungry this morning. I haven't ate yet, so I think I'm gonna go up in there and get some food. You know, I'm parked right outside a place, multiple places that I could go get some food. I got places over there. I got places over there. You know, and ultimately, I'm praying right now that I can find enough gas. I'm almost there. I have half a tank of gas in my RV right now. I just need to get it filled up the rest of the way, and then I'm headed out to the ocean. Because I really, 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 really want to bring y'all content while out there at the ocean for this Christmas and New Year's. And I really want to just stay out at the ocean until my land is paid off. Until I get my land paid off, I really want to just stay at the ocean, because out here in Oregon, you know, you got the ocean, and then right inside of that, you have all these mountains. And, oh, it's beautiful out here, man. It's just, yeah, I love the ocean, the western part, and even all of Oregon is really beautiful. To be honest, there is so much nature here. There's way more nature here than there is, you know, towns, and there is, you know, this city and all this stuff, you know. Yeah, we got that too, but outside of all that, there is so much nature here, and I love it. And my dog super loves it. So, man, may God be with you all. May God be with you all, man. And I'm going to make a new video here sometime. I don't know if it's going to be today. I'm really going to go try to focus on getting this gas. Man, I really just got to get like 50. If I got like 50 to like $80 together today, I'll fill up my gas the rest of the way. And I just need to have like a 20 on me to where when I get to where I'm going, I can put at least another like $20 in gas in. So that way I can get around out on the beach and stuff. So that's what I'm doing, man. I wanna bring y'all a really, really, really good Christmas live stream out at the ocean. So that's my focus right now. And for right now, I gotta let y'all go. And peace and love, yo. Man, sincerely, I really pray that we can come together, man. I really pray for unity right now. So yeah, that's my focus. I'm gonna go out to the ocean as soon as I can, man. As soon as I can get enough gas to go out there, I'm up out there. So, all right. Peace and love, y'all. Have a wonderful day, and I'll be with you again soon.